What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Tuesday. Can you imagine if I started my episode off every day like that with Crypto Zombie, all heroic Game of Thrones-esque intro, right? It's funny though, because I actually recently was getting to a point where I had been looking at so many white papers every single day that my brain felt like it was going to explode, and it literally was Game of White Papers. So yeah, on a side note, but anyway, having a look at the market, we see that there's not too much going on today. Slight decreases across the board. We fell from about 214 to 208 billion, 53% Bitcoin dominance, so that took a little bit of a hit as well. If we look at some of the biggest changes of the day, you have Chainlink up 7.4%. We had that good news come out yesterday. Lisk, VeChain, Zencash, Tatatu again. Kryptonix, Cash, Status, and of course Tether's just doing its thing down there. But, you know, people are always like, you know, why a certain coin went down as if the other ones didn't. You know, this whole market is really just pegged to the big movers, to the guys at the top, especially Bitcoin. And a lot of people also ask about what is the best crypto deal? What's the best coin to buy? What's the top pick, right? Well, to be completely honest with you, they're really all good buys at this moment. It's just a matter of which coins do you like, which projects do you align yourself with. If you have a look at some of these, I mean, you have great projects like Qtum down 96%, Substratum down 96%, Icon 95%, NeoGas, Nano. And the other thing too is when you look at this, I like to also look at the distribution, because that kind of gives you an idea as to where the inflation is going to be. For example, you know, for something like Ardor, or, you know, even NEM, for example, which I just found out the other day that the Petro is actually based on top of the NEM blockchain, which is crazy. That blew my mind a little bit. But you could see that they have 100% of their supply completely issued, see? So what that says to me is that there will be no more inflation by flooding the market with new tokens. So when you look at this being down 95% at its all-time high with 100% of its distribution, not saying to buy the coin, but it could potentially be a good investment, not financial advice. But look at these other ones. You have Ethos down 95%. Cardano down 93%, Tron down 93%. So the list goes on. I guess what I'm trying to say in a nutshell is really everything is a good buy right now. It's just a matter of what projects you want to align yourself with and who you think will have the biggest growth in the future. Obviously, finding things that have real working products, finding, you know, people that have partnerships that are actually out there doing stuff, whatever it is, you know, everyone has their own metrics for what makes a good crypto. But I have to say right now, you're probably not going to get a better deal than this. I mean, unless it literally goes to zero. So getting off the topic of, you know, the markets, getting back into what's going on, a lot of people are talking about this ProShares, the 10th largest provider of ETFs, according to CNBC, has 2 proposals in the running. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this one get shot down as well. Hopefully that doesn't affect the market, but I think at this point we almost have to expect that most of these ETFs are going to get shut down, because when it comes to these government bodies, you know, when it comes to making decisions, they don't want to be rushed. And if they feel that they're backed up against a wall, they're just going to make a decision, no. Because that's the safest decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we're not ready. We haven't looked into it enough. But you know, the thing is when you talk about ETFs, you don't actually own the underlying shares of the asset. So in this case, Bitcoin. Instead, you own a piece of the fund and how the fund is structured and where the money goes. I've heard a lot of people saying that, what is the point of this ETF? Do we even need this ETF? So I want to kind of flip things the other way. When you're talking about Bakkt, so they had this tweet that says, with our solution, the buying and selling of Bitcoin is fully collateralized or pre-funded. Our new daily Bitcoin contract will not be traded on margin, use leverage, or serve to create a paper claim on a real asset. So this is one of the biggest differences between the ETF and what Bakkt is planning on doing. So this is the article that actually came out on Medium from Kelly Loeffler. She's the CEO. And down here, I highlighted this paragraph. She says, a critical element to price discovery is physical delivery. Specifically with our solution, the buying and selling of Bitcoin is fully collateralized or pre-funded. As such, our new daily Bitcoin contract will not be traded on margin, use leverage, or serve to create a paper claim on a real asset, which is literally the tweet. Then it goes on to say this supports market integrity and differentiates our effort from existing futures and crypto exchanges, which allow for margin, leverage, and cash settlement. Coupled with a secure regulated warehouse solution, you can begin to see how this market market infrastructure can help more institutions and consumers participate in the asset class. So this article also came out over here from News BTC. And the thing is Loeffler explained that Bakkt is setting new standards for cryptocurrency exchanges, including a consistent regulatory framework, transparent efficiency, price discovery, and institutional quality pre- and post-trade infrastructure. Huge, huge difference, guys, when you actually physically own the Bitcoins versus having basically an IOU, where you never actually get to touch the Bitcoin, right? So it's almost like not really that different than what they're doing with the futures being all cash settled. So also, the other thing I wanted to note is she was also talking about the recent market downturn when asked, why would you be interested in getting involved in something like this? You know, we've seen Bitcoin fall from 20K all the way down to, was it like 54 or 58? When it touched the low before, you know, you're seeing all these coins down 98%, 90, 96%. She says at the same time, there's numerous reports that venture investing, initial coin offerings, and corporate R&D related to blockchain and digital assets are all on track to surpass the 2017 levels. With the potential for efficiency and innovation, the focus of new applications and infrastructure indicates a strong appetite for this market and technology. And the other thing that I found was interesting was just her overall take on the space in general. So she says the internet, where we see this dialogue unfolding transparently, is a global network that today we take for granted. But if you really think about it, nearly 20 years ago when the web was in its infancy, the spark for digital assets was there. It sticks with me back then, she says. Milton Friedman, who I had in yesterday's video at the bonus ending, if you stayed all the way to the end, he predicted that eCash would emerge, and now we're seeing the promise of a true digital currency. Whether you're an investment manager seeking federally regulated institutional trading and security solutions, or a customer simply looking for more choice in transacting, we're working to make the vision for wider application of digital assets a reality. So when you look at this this thing that's coming out, you see that they got people like Microsoft on board, Starbucks on board, and they're actually dealing with the actual assets themselves physically. You gotta really think in comparison which one is actually going to be more beneficial for us moving forward. So the only thing that I'm saying right now is I hope that in the event, because it most likely will, that these two upcoming ETFs get denied, please don't panic sell, guys. I'm much more excited for this Bakkt and this ICE situation than I really am for the ETF, to be completely honest with you. But time will tell, and we'll see how the markets react. So let's move on to some coin news. I have a lot of coin news today. So starting off, we have Justin Sun, the founder and CEO of Tron. As you know, in his latest tweet, asked Venezuelan politician Adan Chavez to build the debt-ridden country's cryptocurrency Petro on a faster network like that of Tron. So he made this in reference to Adan in a reply to a tweet that said, "Let us celebrate together with the President Nicolas Maduro the start of circulation of the sovereign bolivar, part of the recovery, growth, and economic prosperity program to strengthen the real valuation of our currency anchored to Petro." So he's actually getting involved and saying, hey, why don't you build it on our platform, right? So the interesting thing is in a recent interview with Forbes, he mentioned about the goal of the company, their partnerships, their listings, their acquisition, and he dropped a little hint that there might be some more exciting news in the fourth quarter. Oh my God, guys, it's news about news about news. I can't wait. He also says that they recently kicked off Project Atlas, which will let them incentivize users with the BitTorrent ecosystem to participate and contribute to the network by offering their tokens, a first in history. More exciting news to come out as well. However, if we move over here, we see that at least 5 employees have actually left BitTorrent after the acquisition from Tron. So according to multiple sources with direct knowledge of the acquisition and company operations, the departures were related to concerns about the acquisition itself, as well as the direction proposed for the company by the Tron leadership. So sources there say that 3 of the companies left on their own accord, while 2 others were dismissed. So in a CoinDesk email, one of the representatives said that Tron is committed to the BitTorrent product and user community. We have been growing rapidly since the acquisition as one family to meet our vision for a decentralized future. But according to sources, this rapid growth is one of several reasons remaining staff are concerned about the acquisition. The approximately 49-person company is hiring for at least 30 more positions, ranging from software engineers to recruiters, LinkedIn shows, and employees fear that the expansion Sun hopes to achieve will compromise the company's working culture, which sources described as more relaxed prior to the acquisition. So in one hand, they're worried about the way that the company culture will be affected, but on the other hand, you see guys like Justin Sun from Tron trying to push things forward, trying to, take it to the next level. So there's nothing wrong with hiring more employees. The more hands on deck, the more work you can get done. But, the other thing too is you are seeing that the BitTorrent inventor, Bram Cohen, he has left his role after 15 years, and it's believed that he wasn't really an advocate of cryptocurrencies. They tried to reach out to him on several occasions. One email, there was no response. The second email, he said, I have no involvement with Tron. That was all. So then to follow up, they were like, so you mean you're not working with BitTorrent? And he said, that is correct. So while BitTorrent and Tron have made no announcement following the departure, it's clear that the Tron acquisition has obviously caused a little bit of a shakeup in the community. That's enough Tron news for today, guys. So moving on, I wanted to talk about this really cool video that came out. So Lisk has this new thing, and it's called Blockchain for Kids. Now, I don't know if this is going to be like a reoccurring segment, but this is totally cool. It's part of the Lisk Academy. So basically, they explain blockchain in simple terms. It's 2 minutes and 42 seconds. So it's this kid, and he wants a blue cat. I don't know why he wants a blue cat for Christmas, but actually, now that I think about it, I want a blue cat for Christmas, like a legit blue cat. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, so he goes to order he goes to write to Santa that he wants this blue cat. And, his dad doesn't want him to have a cat. So he gives it to his dad. They explain that his dad is like the middleman. He erases the paper. I feel like at this point I could just show you it. But long story short, it's really cool. It explains the blockchain, and then it shows how there's all these nodes for the North Pole, and it's immutable. So then when his dad tries to change it again, the other ones reject it because they say that one's different. And it was really cool. It's really cute. It's really awesome for kids. Like, definitely, they should keep this up. And I think this would be a really good opportunity for children to understand a little more about blockchain space as well. You also have news coming out of Icon. So the Icon Foundation says that they are proud to announce that on July 2018, the Icon Loop formally was selected by IM Cloud. Okay, we went over this before, but essentially as the blockchain technology consultant for building the next generation election system based on intelligence information technology. So through the close cooperation with the NEC and NIA, Icon Loop is exploring the application of blockchain technology throughout various election systems. So this includes candidate registration, voting, and ballot counting. Additionally, Icon Loop is presenting its blueprints to improve voters' convenience, transparency, fairness, and privacy by utilizing blockchain in current remote election systems for Korea, nationals, and voters residing abroad. Now, we have seen a lot of other things as well. We've seen Horizon State, we've seen Clearpoll, but voting on the blockchain is a very legitimate use case. So I'm not surprised to see these other projects branching out into this space as well. Also, in a strange turn of events, we have HitBTC listing Binance BNB. That's right. So you can now get your Binance tokens over on HitBTC. Why you would want to, I don't know, but you can. So there you go. Also, we have zPiv for mobile is moving into testing this week using the first ever zero coin light protocol. With this, light nodes that don't store the entire blockchain can mint spend zPiv. So this is coming out of PIVX. Pretty interesting. Here you go. Mobile and lightweight wallet. There's a demo provided here if you're interested. A lot of demos been coming out lately. I feel like everyone's really been just like all releasing their demos all at the same time, it seems like. Also, really cool thing as well. This is a Byteball. Byteball is one of those projects that really no one talks about. It really doesn't get any hype. I know Richard Hart likes it. He talks about it. But one of the things that they're offering now is name service. So that's really cool. Long story short, you just have a handle. So instead of having this, ridiculously long, you guys know how your private keys are. Essentially, you just pick one. So they use the example of @Mark Zuckerberg. So essentially, you can buy these. So they have the prices down here. You have 5 character names. You have they'll be worth 10 GBs. 6 would be worth 3 GBs, and 7+ would be worth 1 GB. So essentially, you can buy a name service. So if I wanted you to send me some Byteball, I could have you send it to just @TheCryptoZombie. Super easy instead of a crazy string of numbers. So that's one Pretty cool thing as well. Also, I want to talk about Ontology. So, we recently had the token tank. We sat down with Jun Lee. We asked some questions, but, there's always more questions to be asked. So they actually had a Q&A over at Invest Blockchain where they talk about technology, consensus, use cases, ONG, the market, the future of Ontology, etc. So if you guys are interested in even more Ontology news, definitely check that out. It's a good read. I'll drop it below. Also, Waltonchain Whitepaper 2.0, the only white paper you'll ever need to read, coming soon. So guys, I reached out to Waltonchain. I'm trying to see if I can get this white paper kind of before everybody. They may let me look at it. I'm not too sure, but I really want to have a good read at this. So if not, that's coming out soon. Pretty excited. Waltonchain's been a project I've been following for quite some time. Very, very, very awesome project, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Also, just on a side note, guys, I think the trading bots have taken it to an absolute new level. I don't know what this is. Are they mocking us? What is this? So this is Holochain being traded on Binance, and look at these orders. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Oh, that's totally normal. That's totally normal, right? That happens all the time during trading. So anyway, I just thought that was really funny, kind of segueing into this Holochain thing I wanted to talk about. So you have John Paprocki. So I guess he basically recently joined the team, and he wanted to just kind of drop some information down here. And this is in regards to their white paper. So he says the primary current issues are that it has a few unfinished sections and that the mathematics for distributed systems aren't up to rigorous standards. The unfinished sections are on the to-do list, but first we need to upgrade our mathematics since that becomes the substrate on which all the arguments are laid upon. This post will mostly be about describing what sort of mathematics we ought to describe Holochain with, and consensus-oriented distributed systems more generally. I'm assuming that the reader is not a mathematician. I'm certainly not a mathematician. So I will also attempt to describe the mathematical thought process that created this plan, which for now I am dubbing the road to Sheafhood. So you can come down here and have a look at all this, guys. It's very in-depth, and I'll be honest with you, you guys had asked me to do my Holochain review, and the white paper is just so unbelievably just littered with pure math. It was confusing, actually. So maybe this can help it, break it down in layman's terms a little bit for anybody that's trying to understand it a little bit better. Also, moving on, I wanted to just drop this one article. So you have Andrei Sergenkov. He's an investment consultant and crypto journalist. But this article from ICO Bench came out, and it's 10 insights from investors about how they evaluate ICO projects. So basically, it's 10 investors from 10 different, VCs with 10 different perspectives. Right? So it's a really good article. You can come over here, kind of get in the mind of these traders, figure out how it is that they choose their picks and how they go about their ICOs. So let's talk about some crypto news. Let's get involved with crypto adoption. What's going on? What are the big headlines? So you have Gemini, Bittrex, Bitstamp, Bitflower USA, all forming the Virtual Commodity Association Working Group, or the VCA. So this working group will meet this coming September. Man, September is going to be a big month for crypto. I don't know what's going to happen, but yeah. Anyway, so they're meeting in September to discuss the VCA membership guidelines, staffing the VCA, and creating a best practices that promotes fairness, transparency, risk management, and liquidity, and will address member conflicts of interest, client communications, client disclosures, and record keeping. So in a post on Gemini's blog, the president, Cameron Winklevoss, explains that to help the cryptocurrency market mature, the next logical step is creating a thoughtful SRO framework, SRO being a self-regulatory organization. So maybe this is in response to the fact that their ETF got declined or got rejected, right? So maybe this is their way of kind of retaliating and figuring out a way to move forward. So in more adoption news, Australians can now pay everyday bills using crypto. So the crypto exchange Cointree and billing platform Gobble have joined hands to make payment using cryptocurrencies easier in Australia. So they can now pay any bill within the country using cryptocurrencies. So irrespective of whether or not the company accepts crypto payments. The platform Gobble basically takes care of the issue. They accept the payment from the customers in the form of crypto and pay it to the companies in form of fiat cryptocurrency. So you're really technically not paying in crypto. You're paying Gobble the crypto, and then they're instantly converting it into whatever fiat is acceptable, and then they're paying it. The only thing I'm curious is I wonder what the fees are and who they take the fees from, because if they take the fee from the buyer, that's going to not really be cool because people aren't going to want to pay with their crypto and then have to pay another fee. If they take it from the merchant, that is more common to what we see now that credit cards do. You know, if somebody swipes their American Express or something like that here, the merchant gets hit with the fee, not the person actually using the card. So I am curious to see how that works. But if they don't charge the users fees, then this could be a really good solution for Australians. You also have Tencent denying that saying that they're not involved in the Bitmain Technologies IPO. So yeah, and you also have these other guys as well, SoftBank Group. They said they're not involved. I mean, it's insane. You know, they closed out a $1 billion funding round with an insanely high valuation, possibly of $18 billion, which would put it above the likes of Facebook, you know, as one of the biggest IPOs in history. Yeah, so they're basically saying they're not involved in that. Just wanted to kind of clarify that as well. More adoption news. You have UK-based trading platform eToro has signed an advertising deal with 7 Premier League football clubs paid in Bitcoin. For my American friends out there, I'm talking about soccer. So the move marks a fresh milestone for cryptocurrency integration in mainstream football. And we've also seen a couple other, I can't remember where they were doing it, but a couple of other teams and leagues or something were doing this as well. So we're definitely seeing this getting a lot more involved. Also, I had seen a few NASCAR drivers that had some crypto related stuff. One recent person had a Monero logo on their hood of their car. I'm not really big into NASCAR. I don't remember who it was, but so you are seeing a lot of the cryptos get involved in these other, you know, sports and things like that as well. And then here's another story. You have the US government granting $800K to blockchain researchers. So a research and software architect with the data-enabled scientist computing division at the San Diego Supercomputing Center won over $800,000 from the National Science Foundation to develop Open Science Chain, which will be a proposed distributed ledger to help researchers efficiently access and verify data collected through their scientific experiments. So without going into I was going to read this, but without going into it, it's essentially just a network that would constitute a living and digital catalog of their work growing over time, as, you know, a database you can reference, essentially. But, I mean, that's a lot of money, but, you know, yeah, there you go. Also, one more thing before we go. You have Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak has announced that he plans to get involved in a blockchain project that is a first for him. This isn't the first time we've heard him talking about cryptocurrencies. He has showed his interest on several occasions. I can think of at least 3 or 4 of them right off the top of my head this year alone. So he says, I'm involved with very soon my first time being involved in a blockchain company. Our approach is not like a new currency or something phony where an event will make it go up in value. It's a share of a stock in a company. The company is doing investment by investors with huge track records in good investments in things like, he says apartment buildings in Dubai. It's so independent. It's kind of like the internet when it was brand new. This is him talking about blockchain technology. I should have clarified that. He says, I was amazed at the technology behind it. I've encountered people working in real estate avenues, types of Uber systems, everything we've gone in our life, especially involving transactions. Every single one you hear about, to me, has value. A few people can see the value, which reminds me very much of the early internet days. And yes, I agree. You have seen a lot of things like this as well. A lot of startups. He says things like types of Uber systems. You're seeing a lot of these workforce projects come out. You know, I've seen even with I can't think right now. Moonlight and Thor, you know, for workforce. And you've also seen things in Dubai as well getting involved with blockchain. So this is just more crypto adoption as well. And if that doesn't get you happy, check out this guy playing his guitar with some Bitcoin and Litecoin donations, you know, also while accepting cash. So thought that was pretty cool. That's it, guys. That's all I got for today. So I want to say thanks again for coming back to my channel. You guys are awesome. I hope you guys have a great day out there. Of course, as soon as I upload this video, who knows what could happen. Markets could go up, markets could go down. But that being said, I'll be here, and I hope to see you guys coming back every single day to my channel. And thanks to everyone that's been liking, subscribing, and commenting. You're amazing. You're the reason I do this every single day. That being said, my name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto, and peace out.